40% of the people that were making $1 million a year or something said they were living paycheck to paycheck. But that's not because of inflation. That's because they spent money they shouldn't have spent. They thought they were entitled to because they're millionaires.
They live above their means.
They live above their investments, not their means.
Interesting.
They lived within their means, but never invested.
Right.
And thought that they were always going to be more valuable and more valuable. That's not how value works. Your value as a human being is going to go like this. Okay, it's going to go up. Whatever you're doing, you're going to go. Hopefully, you get to go up. You don't go flatline the whole career. I mean, if you're a maid and you never got better at being a maid, you're going to be flat the whole time, right? But if you go from maid to I'm going to own a series of
right. You get more skills. You get
more skills. Now I own a company. Your value is going to go up, but sooner or later, your value is going to start arcing out.
Why is that?
Technology. You're getting older. You can't service as many people. You didn't grow your company, and the value of your company or your talents. You're a baseball player. You're making $40 million a year. Sooner or later, bro, they ain't gonna pay you anything. Tom Brady, he was making a bunch of money. He's going to be paid more as a commentator.
Crazy.
So he's going to have a boom. He's going to have a big spike because his brand is so much. Now, if he draws an audience. If he doesn't draw an audience, contract will be renegotiated and or they'll kill him and his income will go down. But he should have been loading up on assets. I've always been preparing for this bell curve to do this. Well, Grant's no longer valuable to people. And with the point where I'm no longer valuable,
you got
my assets are going to be like, boom. They'll kick my value up.
Interesting.
They'll catch up with my earned income and replace it. Right? And people should have that target. Your target should be not to make more money, but to have more money that you don't make to match what you do make.
From your investments.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm making 80 grand a year, back in that example, 80 grand a year, and then I'm going to go to 800. Let's say you figured that out. Along the way, you're just accumulating assets with the other 700,000 so that one day your 800 grand that you're making now, you're making another 800 from income from the investments. So when the first income goes away, that second layer of investments starts to pay you and your family. And that becomes your life insurance. That becomes your Keogh 401k retirement plan. But you're investing in things that you own, not things Wall Street owns.
If someone has, let's say, a fairly small business, they might be self-employed or they might have 10 to 20 employees. What would your tangible advice be to help them scale that up to new levels?
10x.
And how tangibly can they do that?
You have 10 people, your new target should be 100 people. Now you're not going to go from 10 to 100 tomorrow because now you got a new problem. You're like, I don't have the payroll. Right. I don't have the income for it. I don't even know where to find 90 more people. Okay, good. That's your new problem. Right? So I'm doing $1 million in revenue. Okay, your goal is to go to 10 million. Do not try to go from 1 million to 1.2 million. The incrementals almost never work because it forces you to keep thinking in terms of incrementals. There's no big ideas, right? Because I'm like, okay, we're doing a $10 million a year. The economy's getting worse. So you guys sit down in a budget meeting. Everybody does this. Guys, we need to go from 10 million. Let's just do 10 million again because the economy's bad. You're never going to keep it. Flat lines always fall. Now, if the group, by the way, everybody, your average people that you guys talk to every day, they're all thinking the same way. So what you want to do is think outside that box and say, no, while they're going to flatline, what we're going to do is we're going to take our business from $1 million a year to 10 million. How could we do that? Well, we can't do it. Okay, but how could we do it? Man, it's impossible. But how could we? Well, we can't even dude, why don't you go buy 10 businesses like yourself right now? It would be easier to buy 10 businesses in a recession than it would be to grow your business, and you just grew 10 times. And you didn't have to hire one person. But you got to think outside the box.
When did you said like, so you weren't successful early on. When was the shift? What was it like that moment where all of a sudden?
When I was 51.
51.
Yeah.
How old are you now? You're fucking older than me.
61.
You're older than me.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Tell me, what was the shift? What was it?
2010, man.
Tell me.
2010, I was just like, I had a little bit of success. You know, I had 3 companies that were doing well.
Right.
And
what were those companies? Was it sales training?
There was a sales training, a speaking business.
Okay.
That I had been doing for 20 years. And it had really become just about me collecting a fee. We would market it. We owned the production of the event. The only difference was I wasn't getting a speaking fee. I was getting a piece of the gate.
Okay.
So I didn't actually do any speaking for hire.
Speaking about sales,
Sales.
or
It was all sales, and it was
industry specific, or
yeah, it was automotive.
Okay.
I was very, very dependent upon the automobile industry. So I realized, number one, I'll never be dependent upon one industry again, ever. Number two, the other business was a consulting business. It was similar and
In auto.
Yeah, that I didn't run. I was a partnership, and I collected a royalty with it, and that was great for years. It was great until it wasn't, right?
Right.
And then the third business was I would take all the money from the first two and pour it into real estate because I knew that real estate would live longer than I could.
Right.
And it would work better than I could. So the problem with all three of those, though, is I never did it big. Like, I never did it big.
What was the worst
No,
part?
and I mean, there was no bottom right there. It was like, oh, I got it. How long am I going to get dragged out, right? We didn't lose anything. I didn't go bankrupt. I didn't lose anything. All my buddies that were buying real estate and really doing a lot of no money down stuff, they lost everything. But I was terrified. Okay, I was so scared. I thought I'd left my family down, and we couldn't expand. I was too scared to expand, even though I had some cash. I had a great opportunity to invest in a great company. I would have. I love the guy, and he wanted $1 million, a measly $1 million. I had it, but I couldn't give it to him, dude, because I was so scared. And so I realized then I will never be in this position again. That was 10 years ago. And what I did then was started, okay, I got to get other industries to know me. I got to get known. I got to start using these social mediums that I thought was a waste of time. You know, I'm like, this is all bullshit. And so I just leaned into it, dude, and we built a Facebook following, and yeah, and that changed everything. We didn't have any e-commerce going. We'll do 40 million in e-commerce this year.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
When one day I was with him and he's like, hey man, what do you want from me? Mm-hmm. And I said, well, what I want from you is, I said, I mean, nothing really. He's like, yeah, you want something. I said, you know, if I had my wish list, I'd just see your bank statement. Mm. And he's like, what? I said, just your bank statement. I just want to see it.
Yeah.
I was fascinated. What does his statement look like?
Right.
$367 million in one account. And I was looking at this, I was like, dude, Schwab account, Merrill Lynch account. Like, he had all these accounts, a Bank of America account with like 400 million. Like, I was like, oh my God. And for me, it was like, it's real. Yeah. It's real. Those are numbers. This is a regular guy. Now, the second thing I thought about was, okay, I'm in the wrong space. I can't do this doing what I do.
In the wrong vehicle.
Yeah. Now this is, let me see what year this was, 2000. No, it wasn't. No. That's 4 years ago. No, this is more like maybe 6.5 years ago. This is only maybe 2015.
Okay.
In the next 7 years, I would go from where I'm at then to like cracking a brick.
And that's when you decided to start Cardone Capital.
Then I started looking at, I'm in the wrong space. Yeah. This space cannot churn enough money. I'm not reaching enough people. I'm not marketing enough. Not enough people know me. My product lineup is wrong. Yeah. Like I was in the right I was on the right field, just the wrong position.
Got it.
You're surrounded by, poverty. You're surrounded by little think. You're surrounded by addiction. You're surrounded by slavery. Yeah. Look. I mean, there's as much slavery in the country today as there ever has been. Mm. You got 300 million people in this country that are slaves. Mm. It's called the middle class. They just made it to a place.
Right.
They just made it. I can pay my bills. I can pay my mortgage. Look what they're paying for. I can pay my house. Mm. I paid my house off now. Oh my God, I'm so happy. I paid the house off. I don't have that anymore. I got a retirement account. These 5 things that I just mentioned are simply machine. They're the machine. You're feeding the machine. You're stuck. You're not free yet. So for the young guy out there with nothing, dude, your first target needs to be a 1% club.
Got it.
Second thing, that means you need to suffer until you get there. Mm. No cars, no bracelets, no watches, no glow, no like.
For sure.
You're not doing the shine and I'm popping and I'm rocking because you ain't going to fool me with your shit.
Yeah.
Guys like me, they don't care.
Guy comes up, he wants to sell part of his company. He wants me to look at it. He drives up in a Rolls Royce. Before he sat down in the chair, I knew the deal was done. He was 24 years old. I'm 24, 25 years old. I'm like, there's no way I'd go in business with him.
Why is that?
Because he's a degenerate. He had a new company. It wasn't even doing that well. Okay, what the fuck are you doing with a goddamn, don't try to impress me with your car. By the way, that's only going to impress your bullshit friends.
Right.
It's not going to impress a real guy.
So how rich do you need to be to get a car like that?
Well, it's not just how rich. It's how long you've been rich.
Right.
So if you were rich instantly and you're going to go buy a Lambo, stupid. It's stupid, man. Like it looks stupid. Like I could have bought a Rolls Royce when I was 40 years old. I didn't buy it because I'm like, I'm too young for that car. I didn't have a Rolex until I was 42 years old. I could have bought the Rolex when I was 31 years old. I didn't. Why? Because I was buying assets. I wasn't trying to show off and get approval from people. The Rolls Royce, the Gucci, the Versace, the belts, all that stuff is just trying to get approval. Now, if you're a woman and you're wrapping up in Chanel, like my wife, she wears Chanel. So she's rocking this Hermes hat. Drives me fucking nuts. I hate all that shit. It probably took me a good year of getting
Stabilized.
sobriety and stabilized, not using drugs. To like, okay, I can start to trust myself. Then I started paying people back for the damage I caused, or at least making an effort to. And then I started being effective as a salesman. It's the only job I could get. I didn't go into car sales because I wanted to. I went into car sales because that's the only people that would hire me.
Right.
And then I started getting good at that, and I started saying, man, you know, I remember I went from making $2,500 a month to $3,500 a month. The most important money I have ever made in my life was that $1,000. It is not the hundreds of millions or whatever I've made, you know, over the internet. It was that first $1,000 said, oh, wow, I have control. I can
It's up to you.
If I can get better, if I can just get better, if I can make a commitment, stay clean, and get a little better every day, and then I ended up reaching the top 1% in the auto industry in a job I hated, didn't like, didn't want, didn't choose, and I just took it.
Somebody said last night we were doing something together. Oh, that we were both wealthy when we showed up. It's like, where did that
on Twitter
happen?
Spaces, the guy said, hey, you guys grew up wealthy.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, we stole 14-foot aluminum skiffs for entertainment on the weekend.
Yeah.
And by the way,
And
we would
lost one
only
of 'em.
we couldn't afford the gas to put
That's
in
right.
the motor. So not only would we steal it from the neighbor, again, this is back in the 70s and 80s, nobody locked anything up. But if you got caught, you were going to go to jail, unlike today. But we stole those skiffs, sank one of them, abandoned the other one, but we had a good time.
Dude, we had a blast. That was so fun.
I was growing up, you didn't have online. There's so many ways to make money today. It's unbelievable.
It's amazing how much opportunity.
It's not even that crazy to do that. It's just a math class, right? So let's say I want to do 876.
Yeah.
And I'm broke and I don't know anything. I'm starting from zero, which is fine. It don't matter that you're broke, as long as you hadn't quit. So like you can't break me. That means I can take a lot of risk because I'm not worried about going broke because I can't be broken. I have my spirituality, I have my creativity, I have my persistence, I got courage. Like there ain't no breaking me, man. Shit, I'm a dangerous man. I'm a dangerous beast.
Come on.
Okay. So 876. And I know strategy, right?
Yeah.
So if I take 876,000 divided by 365 days, I need to make $2,400 a day.
Yeah.
Divided by 24 hours, $100 an hour. And I'm gold.
Yeah.
I'm in the top 1% club. So I just broke it down. If I break that down by the minute, I need to make $1.67 a minute.
$1 a minute.
Now I start backing into it. I'm like, okay, I can't just do that. Okay, this is a $70,000 a year job. I only got 800 grand to work out now. Now I start working out. What could I do? See, but in school they don't teach you that. They teach you, hey, you need to learn a skill. I don't need a skill, bro. I need money.
Yeah.
I want to get tied in with the bank.
Come on.
How do I do that? Well, I need people skills. I know that. I need to learn how to market. I need to learn how to monetize. I need to learn how to convert people. I need to learn how to follow up. I need to be persistent. Like those are the things that we're going to be showing people next week that you can add. But the first most important thing is the target.
Okay, and how do you determine what that next financial goal is?
I don't determine. Like I just say, okay, $100 billion. I write that down. That was my morning target.
But is that just a gut feeling of
Bang,
that's what I want to
100.
have?
That's my next target. It's a target. It's like, bang, I want to go there. It's like picking a vacation. I don't know how to get there. I don't know what car I'm going to get. I don't even know what's over there. Dubai. Okay, let's put Dubai on there. Like, I don't even know why I want a helicopter. I've done all this. I did this. I've done this for 30 years. Every single thing. Like, if you go back and read the 10X rule, I'm writing my goals in that book. Every single thing that I said I would accomplish in that book, I exceeded 10 times. Like these goals, all your goals, first of all, people aren't writing them down. And number two, when you're writing them down, you're writing them too small. You will achieve more than you ever thought you could achieve.
So what would it take? I would have to have a target. Whatever the target is, 40 million. If somebody's like, I want to be a millionaire, boom, get a target. Number one, real target. Two, do math on it. How many different ways could I do that? So there's got to be a math path, a math way, not a pathway, but a math way, right? I could do one deal, 40 billion. I could do five deals at 8 billion. I could do 40 $1 billion deals. That's a little harder. I got to do 40 deals, right? It's easier actually to do fewer deals. 3, who do I need to meet? Who, not what. Not what do I need to do? Who do I need to meet to serve me up that $40 million deal? Because there's going to be a person, and that's the thing that people miss. It's always a who, it's not a what.
That's not a.
Now, what do I need to learn?
Mm.
I don't need to learn. What do I need to manufacture? Okay, I didn't start a health company. I bought one. I didn't start a HVAC company. We basically, HVAC is a massive growing business right now, okay?
Huge.
So heaters, air conditions. So we're incubating a bunch of them, and we'll probably take those public.
You're buying them.
Yeah, exactly. We're bringing them in. We're managing them. I'll help market for them.
Interesting.
But I didn't start one. I'm watching what Warren does. Warren didn't start a company. Elon did not start Tesla.
Really?
No. So he
bought a technology.
Bill Gates did not start Microsoft. He did not write the code. He bought it. And then he marketed it.
Buy, then build.
Yeah, buy it and then build it. Don't start it from scratch. How many guys you know, I'm going to start my own business?
Well, most of them fail.
Yeah, exactly. And there's 32 million small businesses in America. Nobody's saying, I need another small business.
I've learned a lot by watching you with money too, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
because-
like what? What's the?
Just
because
your
we
fr-
have a different
Totally
approach.
different.
Talk about that, man.
You're just freer to take risks than I am. You know, I'm not, you know, I have been, you know, all my investments are in real estate that's very stable, almost zero risk over long periods of time. It's a coward's investment, you know. And so I've saved a lot of money, you know. The first 20 years I was in business, I would literally put none of it at risk, because I should be way better off than I am. If I would have taken more risk,
Yeah.
I would be 10 times financially better off than I am today. But I didn't because of some of those lessons I learned.
And so, what's the difference? How do you see me? Because I don't always see me the same way as other people.
You're less connected to money as a source of security. You know, I see it as a thing of security. You are willing to risk it, I think, because of your corporate experience and how money is done on a corporate level. You know, I've never worked for a company that had, how much money did Clearinghouse have?
30 billion.
Yeah,
But it started with nothing. I mean,
I understand, but
Yeah.
they raised money from the capital markets. And I never had access to any of that. You had access to the whole world. I didn't. You had experience traveling around the world. You moved to Corpus Christi and then to the UK. All those were expansion moves for you that I didn't have. I wasn't on a plane until I was 28 years old.
yeah.
Didn't travel till I was 30, 31 on a regular basis. And you were already all around the world, dude. So you had a lot more expansion kind of experiences that I didn't have.
Yeah.
And I think you take risks bigger. You're willing to take risks more than I am. My goals are going to lead me to my talent. Okay. Talented people the most talented do not win this game. If I could own a football team, I don't need to throw a football or kick one. I could just own the team 100%. Like this whole idea of follow your passion is, again, this is a selfish concept. Like the house, you know, it's selfish. I don't want to do that. I don't want to learn that. I don't want to take the time. I don't want to invest my money. I deserve to live in a house. These are all entitlement and selfish concepts, okay? I don't like sales. Very selfish, stupid. I don't want to spend money to market my company. Selfish. We're a word of mouth company. It's completely stupid. What does that even mean? We're word of mouth, okay? That means there's 16 people that talk about your company, and you live where there's on a planet with 8 billion people. So I need to stay small, and I want to control my clients and my customers, and I want to have a boutique. It's selfish. It's selfish. It's small. It's little, and it doesn't work. And so I need to be passionate before I get into it. You have an entitlement problem. I'm not passionate about anything except my goals. There's the goal. There's the dream. Okay, that's what I'm excited about, the dream. I don't know what talent, what skill set, or what people I got to, or how much misery or pain I got to go. Whatever the goal and the target, let's say it's 100 billion or a billion or 10 million or whatever the number is, okay? Or the thing is, I want to raise money to solve water problems, whatever the deal is, right? Then it's like, okay, what skill set do I need? I don't have that skill set. So I'm going to trade money to somebody else that has that skill set. I mean, there's no success without volume.
Okay.
So anybody that's trying to like come up with the thing is trying to get away from the work.
Right.
And so there's no trick in this game. Like if a person wants to be really successful in sales, real estate, acting, you need a lot of hits.
Right.
Right. So like I think everybody's looking for that one thing that gets that in the door and gets that one sale. As opposed to as opposed to, dude, how do I keep calling on the whole neighborhood?
Right.
How do I keep working that neighborhood and then the next neighborhood and then how do I come back? Because one thing the cold call people do that incorrectly is they canvas cold a neighborhood and they never go back to that neighborhood. But watch, I do. I go back in. So I'm basically following you up.
Okay.
It's somebody once said, hey, somebody else blows up the tire. They blow up the tires and I ride the bike. You know, they get them ready.
Okay.
So that neighbor, that person, that phone call, that door is going to be knocked on again by someone.
Okay.
Now, most people are just not going to go back and hit on it. But the
What about time management issue? What's the time management in terms of new doors versus old doors?
I don't know. The gold is in the follow-up.
Okay, so in other words, you don't have a distinction because it's a good question, don't you think? That like, when do you know?
Not really. I think it's a bad question.
You think it's a bad question?
I think it's not the right question. I think
when to not to follow.
I think the young salesperson should be taught, hey, look, there's no trick, dude. There's no freaking sweet spot of this game. The sweet spot, if there is a sweet spot, it is about creating tremendous volumes of activity, having lots of people to talk to.
So hitting lots and lots of doors.
Or taking lots of phone calls.
Or hitting doors, or whether it's cold the phone, or doors, right?
Sweet spot,
numbers game, you think?
Without a doubt.
Okay.
But if they know me, rather than me knowing them, if they already know me, then my leverage goes up probably 10x.
Okay. Can you explain that?
Hey, I know you. I saw you in the paper. I saw you on like you know, you get that because people, know about the movie, right? So you immediately have some altitude or lift.
Right.
Because people know you. It's not who I know, it's who knows me.
I had been 20 years of working my butt off, man, saving money, doing all the right things. I call it playing by the house rules. Saving my money, planning for retirement, you had a retirement account, everything they tell you to do, paying off your debt and everything. And then when that thing happened, bro, it was like they just came in and started taking everything from me. I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't do anything wrong here. Like your dad, like he was victimized by this thing that they do every 10 or 12 years.
Yeah.
And so when that happened, I was like, the next time this happens, because I couldn't do anything. Because when recessions happen, it provides tremendous opportunities. But I didn't have the courage to do it, and the reason I didn't have the courage is because I didn't have the strategy. I didn't know what to do. And when you don't know what to do, bro, you're like,
yeah, you just out
there's
there.
nothing I could do.
Yeah.
So, and this is how most people live every day, unfortunately.
Right.
And so I told my wife in 2008, that's what, 14 years ago, 12 years ago, whatever the number is.
Yeah.
And I said, man, next time this happens, I'm going to be ready.
Yeah.
This time I'm ready. People are going to lose their jobs. That's going to happen. Could be the greatest thing that ever happens to you, by the way. Yeah. I lost my job, man. I lost a job when I was 29 years old. Best thing that ever happened to me. And I was freaking devastated.
Yeah. But it set you on a course that you...
I had to go do something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to do... I wanted to quit the job, true. Right. I've been wanting to quit the job for a long time, and a guy one day just out of nowhere said, hey, mind your own business. I got pissed off. I left. I don't know if I quit or he fired me, but that became the start of me becoming my own person.